My work started, in fact, in Peru, and I started to receive some invitations to go abroad. And I want to be very transparent with my messages. And a lot of people that had an experience with the sacred plants here in Peru asked me if I could bring them abroad. And I got a clear message of not doing that. I know that, of course, there's a lot of activity and people doing the sacred plants, Peruvian sacred plants, all over the world, and I respect that. But for me, my personal message was to keep this work in Peru, keep it for the people who wants to make this kind of pilgrimage and come here and have the experience in the sacred spots that the ancients and the shamans still today have recognized as special places for the healings, some kind of natural hospitals, if you want. And so I'm sticking to this message until probably one day it changes, I don't know. So what I'm doing when I'm traveling is that I'm making personal healings that they look like an energetic healing. The person is just laying with eyes closed, and I'm working on the back, and I'm working on the front, mostly on the central line of the body. And I'm applying a flow of vital energy that I learned in my time with my Chinese masters, but I have found something. It's a very personal way. I have found a way of mounting over the vital energy flow the shamanic healing information. So when I'm touching people, people start to have recallings, memories from childhood or from special moments of their life that have shaped their personality or are related with big wounds in their emotional story. And we do cleanings and liberations. Sometimes the sessions are very dynamic and some others are very soft and quiet, but there are changes done. And always when I'm coming back, people tell me a lot of important acknowledgements and changes or strengths in their will, in their decision, and new clarifications that have come about themselves and about life. And this is done only by asking the healing forces of nature to come to bath that person and do the changes and help them to advance and liberate themselves from the wounds of the past. So sometimes I do the drums and I chant. Sometimes it's quiet and I'm applying only the energy. It depends. We find out in real time. It's not that I have a fixed receipt that I'm putting all the time. This is really, I feel right to call it the art of healing, because it's an art. It's not a technique. And also what I'm doing is to sit in front of people gathered, and I explain the way I heal. I explain the understanding that I have up to this moment about what a healthy human being is and about the work's nature work. And it's also very spontaneous. In fact, when I'm going to a meeting, I'm not having in my mind anything set or anything, a script already in my mind. It's just whatever comes for the ensemble of people that are at that moment. And it's very open and spontaneous and with participations of people. And when I started to do the cleanings and the personal sessions, people asked me for more, for explaining things and for doing methods and techniques, and I didn't want to create a new frame. There's so much methods and frames going on all around. I wanted something fresh and real time, and really a living words for people. And again, I got a message that was saying that I should not try to teach anything, and that the only final honest way of teaching, if you want, is only to share the personal experience you have had. So I'm only sharing what I have lived and understood up to this moment, and it's I feel it's something real that probably 1 or 2% of 10 or 20% of what I'm explaining about my choices of life and my everyday work might probably serve for the different persons around. And if we manage to help in some way by this exchange, it's already worth it. The way I learned too is it was kind of exchange of gifts, if you want, with a lot of joy and pleasure of being there and doing something in the sense of the force of life. So basically what I'm doing in my trips, I'm doing personal sessions, I'm explaining. Sometimes I'm doing like little workshops when I'm teaching my first life experience in this world, that was with my Chinese masters, that we were doing energy work. At the time when I was learning that in Peruvian Chinatown, no one was talking about the word of Qigong. The only word we heard sometimes was Neikun, which means internal abilities, and has to do with the energetic but also with the spiritual. And what I'm doing is to share the exercises that I used for learning how to gather and move the energy. And that's what all started from there. What I'm doing in Peru, I'm doing personal sessions, and I'm taking people in these 2 weeks or 3 weeks trips when we go to the desert, to the jungle, to special spots, to mountains, and we spend the everyday sharing and talking and exchanging, and we find moments to make some breathing, some exercises. And then for the people that want, I do the sacred plant ceremonies 2, 3 or 4 times, and we do it in a special place with if you want, old school conditions. We do it sometimes under the stars, in the middle of the desert or in the jungle, and we have the personal work that you got from the sacred plants, but also you have the connection with the natural forces, which is a very important part of human health, in my belief.